Hello and welcome to Diksha Karnataka YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss a very important topic for all of you future champions, those who are preparing for KCET 2027. Physics, right? Physics is a very tricky subject, and if you are not careful, your marks can go down drastically, and at the end of the exam you will cry saying that, sir, I prepared everything whatever you have said, but still my marks are not that great. So why it can happen? So for that's why I will be helping you with the strategy that you should follow for physics and everything that you need to know. How will be the difficult question, what will be the level of the difficult question, how many numericals will come, how many questions will come from your first PUC, how many from your second PUC, everything I will discuss in detail. So if you have still any doubt about KCET physics, then definitely you should watch this video, and after this end of this video, definitely you will be very close to getting a good marks in KCET physics, right? So information, anything that you don't know is provided in this session. So let's start one by one. We will not go into very fast, we will go a little slow. Let's say KCET physics at a glance. So if you see that like all other subjects, you have to answer 60 questions, and the time that I say to my students is that you consider that 60 minutes time is there. Even though you will get 70 minutes, the remaining 10 minutes is there for filling up the OMR sheet. So that's why I always say that try to solve the questions in 60 minutes, then you use the extra 10 minutes if any questions are left. Okay, so if you are solving the question and marking the OMR sheet at the parallelly, that is okay, but you can answer the questions later on also. You can fill in the OMR sheet. Whatever strategy you are doing, you have to do it, but remember that 10 minutes you should always keep in extra for filling up the OMR sheet. So do not count this in, but if you finish the OMR sheet filling earlier, then you can utilize the extra time to solve some other questions, right? But while you are doing the OMR sheet filling, remember that each question you cannot have more than 1 minute time. So that is a very, very important point. Now obviously there is no negative marking, so 0 marks for wrong answers. So negative marking is not there. So even if you do not know the answer, you should try and guess the answer. There are scientific way of guessing. We will discuss that in our future videos as well. But yes, even if you don't know, you can still answer them, and you can still, if you are lucky, you might still get 1 mark. So there is no negative marking in KCET. The first PU and second PU split is approximately 67% from PU2 and 33% from your PU1. So this is from your PU2 and this is from your PU1, and roughly 40 questions from your PU2 and 20 questions from your PU1 out of, this is the number of questions, okay, out of 60 questions. So 40 questions directly comes from your PU2 and 20 questions directly comes from your PU1. So 2/3 from second PU, 1/3 from first PU. So 67:33%, that is the general split, right? So KCET physics is consistently the most time pressure of the 3 papers. Knowing the advantage which chapters test recall concepts. So basically it obviously if you try to answer physics, it may be little lengthy, and if you are not fast enough with your calculations, analysis, etc., you may not get the enough time to answer all the questions. Because every year I hear from the students, sir, I was only able to read and solve 45 questions, 50 questions, remaining 10 questions I just guessed without even reading. So these kind of things might happen if you are not prepared. So that's why always prepare 60 questions in 60 minutes. That will give you an extra advantage over other students who are not doing that, right? Now obviously if you like our channel, don't forget to subscribe, because we are going to give you such tips in future as well. And obviously like this video if you feel that I am helping you some way, right? Now next is the typical split consequence. So how the question paper is split. So that is very important to know that you know that okay, first PUC 20 questions, second PUC 40 questions, but how many of them will be numericals? Everyone is afraid of numericals, everyone is scared of the numericals. So what you need? So you need 45% of the questions will be numerical questions. So more than slightly less than half of the paper will be numerical questions where you have to solve it. Now, will all of them be difficult? No. Okay, out of the 45% question, 45% question means around 25, 26 questions will be numerical questions out of 60. Okay, now out of that, those questions, around 20% of the question, 10 to 12 questions will be difficult. Okay, and remaining 25% of the question, that is another 14 questions, will be medium to easy. Medium to easy. Okay, so numerical questions does not mean they are all difficult questions. That you have to understand. Okay, not all numerical questions are difficult. 20%, around 12 questions will be difficult, slightly lengthier to solve. Remaining 14-15 questions will be easy to solve, not that difficult. One formula based question, know the formula, put it, solve it, you will get the answer. Now 35% question will be conceptual. 35% question means how much? Again, it will be around 20 questions will be conceptual, where some statements, some explanations will be given based on that, or some diagrams will be given. Based on that, you have to answer it. Okay, so understand the diagram, answer the question. Understand the statement, answer the question. Those kind of questions will be 35%, around 20 of them. Okay, 20% question will be formula recall. So formula recall means one line question where formula itself is the answer. So remember the formula, or just recall the formula, adjust the formula, based on this you will get the answer. So formula recall based questions will be another 20%. So total percentage is obviously 100%, right? Now, so as you can see, 20% formula recall, 30% conceptual, 45% are numerical. So numerical questions are heavy in mathematics, but still not all of them are difficult. So you have to understand that questions will not be as difficult that you might have been practicing, because many students practice for JEE and think that similar level of questions will be there in KCET. So they work very hard, but they are not able to manage the time. Time management is more important, right? And if you are still struggling with KCET preparation, you want a perfect fixed time based batch, then our Pariksha Veera batch is already live and it is ongoing. It is just 1 week old. So if you have still you still have not missed many classes, if you still want to join the batch, do join today. We are promising that the entire second PUC syllabus will be covered by 6th of November. The link to join the batch is given in the description section. You can click on there, and the batch price is 3499. I will explain more about the batch at the end of this video. Now let's move on. Concept heavy chapters, read and don't derive. Okay, so modern physics, so these chapters are concept heavy. You have to read, do not too much derivations are not there. So for example, modern physics, if you understand this chapter, you will be able to understand answer those questions. EM waves, units and dimensions and errors, semiconductors, then we have wave optics, magnetism and matter. These chapters are mostly concept heavy. Okay, so you do not need to go into too much of derivations. If you practice these chapters, you should be able to answer those questions. So understanding these chapters will be helpful for you to answer concept heavy questions. Now what are all the numerical heavy plus slightly formula based questions? So these are current electricity, ray optics, electrostatics and capacitance, mechanics, thermodynamics and kinetic theory, rotational motion and gravitation, and one more chapter that is not here is alternating current, which is basically somewhere between the concept heavy and somewhere between numerical. Both type of questions can be coming from those chapters. Okay, strategies, solve 10 years previous year questions. Okay, so you have to solve last 10 years PYQs and as many as MCQs, but you have to be solving them timed way. Timed way means time should be fixed. So if you are solving 10 MCQs, you have to fix 10 minutes of time. Then only you will be able to master these chapters. So timed MCQ is very important. If you are just practicing it without any timer, then you are wasting your time. Don't do that. Always practice with timer. Next is approaching concept questions. So if the concept questions are there, so always textbook first. Okay, so always remember the textbook you have to go through, then you have whatever coaching notes you have, that should come second. Okay, KCET concept questions are framed from PU NCERT notes, PU NCERT lines. Read every chapter twice, including examples, tables, and point to ponder. Everything you have to read twice. Make 1-page concept map of the chapter. So, if possible, at least write the concept map. What are all the important concepts there? Attack which of the incorrect format. Okay, practice eliminating options. Most concept traps flip one word, increase versus decrease, directly versus inversely. So, there are some questions, examples are given here. So, if you are able to eliminate the wrong answer, okay, suppose you are solving a question. Now, numerical questions, eliminating the wrong answer may not be as good as it is possible for conceptual based question. For conceptual based question, you can eliminate the wrong answers very easily. At least 2 of them can be eliminated. Remaining 2 you have to, if you don't know, you have to guess it. If you know it, just check the put one of these options in the question and see whether it is actually making any sense or not. We will discuss in our theory lectures, class lectures. So, don't forget to join there, where we are also solving a lot of questions. Okay. Now, golden rules: never leave a concept question blank. No negative marking. Obviously, concept question you should not leave blank. You should not ideally leave any question blank, but concept question, obviously you can answer it even without knowing the answer. Graphs and diagrams in the textbook are question banks. So, basically there are a lot of questions where questions are being asked, which of the following graph represent this, which of the following graph represent this, or this is a graph, what value you can get from there. So, graph vice versa questions are very common. So, either they will give you a graph and ask a question, or they will ask which of the graph is correct for certain quantities. So, the graph based questions are very common. So, you have to check out for the graph based questions as well. Previous 10 years KCET papers repeat concept again and again. Okay, so just the phrasing of the question changes, but concept remains same. So, you have to check which concepts are important in the previous year paper. So, if you have to solving 10 years previous year paper for a particular topic, particular chapter, then you will be clear in your head before telling me that okay, this is an important concept. You will know, okay, these are the concepts that are more repeating from these chapters. So, that's how you can answer, right? Target 25 to 30 per second concept questions. Concept questions can be answered easily and relatively faster. So, for these questions, if you can target say 20 second to 30 second per question, the remaining time that you are saving, 30 to 40 seconds that you are saving, can be used to solve longer numerical method questions. Okay, some numerical questions do require 2-3 minutes of time. So, where you will get this extra 2-3 minutes, because all questions required to be solved in 1 minute. So, from where you will get this extra 2 minutes? These extra 2 minutes actually come from the time that you have saved from concept based questions, right? So, that's how you should always approach a paper. If you know the paper in your head, then actually that makes your exam preparation, exam approach completely different. If you are going into the exam hall blank, I will solve whatever I will get, actually you will solve less. But if you know that okay, there are these many questions, so even if I am leaving this question blank for now, I can come back to it later on because I have enough time to solve these questions. So, that's how you should approach the paper. So, if you decode the paper properly, that actually solves your 90% of the trouble. You know the answer, if you have studied, you know the answer, but writing them, solving them within time is the challenge, right? Next, approaching numerical questions: build the formula bank, maintain a running formula notebook per chapter, okay, with conditions of validity, revise it weekly, not just before the exam. Okay, now drill the calculation itself, practice mental math, square to 30, roots, log. Now log is not that important, trigonometric values are important. So, if you are practicing mental math, for example, 2 into 2 is 4, or I need to use a calculator. So, mental math means solving questions without using any calculator, closing your head, try to solve it in your imagination. 2 into 2 is 4, divided by 4 is 1. So, this kind of solution is called mental mathematics. So, if you are able to do that, basically you are approaching a very good state with your preparation, right? Now, solve by option, not by algebra. So, use dimensional checks, limiting cases and option elimination. KCET options are often far apart, approximation is safe. So you do not need to use the exact values. For example, I can give you one example. Epsilon naught is 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12. But for all practical purposes, we can approximate this to be 9 into 10 to the power of minus 12. Okay. Similarly, instead of taking value of gravitational constant to be 9.8, if we approximate to be 10, then our time saves is very, very high, right? In some cases, 9.8 can be cancelled, so you have to be little bit careful about that. Otherwise, for most cases, if you use approximated value to be 10, even though in the question itself it is mentioned 9.8, unless and until it is getting cancelled directly, you can still use g equals to 10 and you can cancel it. Okay, so those are the tricks that you need to know, and with time you will develop the tricks. Obviously, it is not possible in 1 day or 2 days, but if you develop this skill, then definitely you will be doing great, right? Time box every problem. So 60 to 75 second max. If stuck, mark and move to fresh questions, beat the stubborn one. Okay, so for example, if you are stuck in a question, you are writing a mock test. Okay, you are stuck in a question, what should you do? Should you waste 5 minutes, 10 minutes only in that question? So there was an instance in KCET in 2-3 years back. There was a question which requires at least a good 10 to 15 minutes to solve that question. Okay, at least 5 to 10 minutes, not 15 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to solve that question. First of all, you have to understand that question. That was one of the most difficult question in KCET. If you are stuck in such questions, you should not waste your time on those such questions. You can skip and move on, because that is obviously one question and you can randomly guess the answer and move on. Okay, there is no good alternative than that, because some questions which can look like easy are actually difficult to solve. So do not waste your time on those questions. It is always easy to come back to those questions if you have some time left after entire paper is over. So that you also have to practice. I know many of the students who are very passionate about solving questions, they keep on dragging, but if you are doing right now, okay, that is fine. In your leisure time, when you are just trying to answer what will be the answer to that question, solving it, okay, but when you are in a timed format, when you are writing in a timed format, always answer the questions whenever you have how many of them you can solve in that timer. Once the timer is expired, count how many of them you have solved, how many of them are correct. Then whatever you are not able to solve, or whatever you have solved incorrectly, then you put the time on them, analyze it, re-answer, try to find the answer why you are not able to answer them. So that is how you should progress. But when you are writing first time, you should always use a timer. Timer is very, very essential. Okay, exam day attempt strategy. So this is for mostly for exam day, or for now whenever you are attempting the mock test. Okay, sweep the concept marks. So first you have to attempt the concept marks. Whatever conceptual questions are there, 25 0 to 25 should be your conceptual questions. Answer every theory, formula recall, and one step questions. Skip everything needing more than 20 seconds of thought. So when you are answering, answer the questions whatever you can solve quickly. Skip the questions which you feel that this requires numerical calculations. Okay, read the question. If you think, okay, I can solve it in 10 seconds, 20 seconds, answer it, move on. Okay, whatever you think, okay, this is not possible, skip that. Later on, and mark whatever you are answering. So whatever questions you have answered, mark them, right, so that when you are revisiting the remaining questions, then you know, okay, these questions are already been answered. Now I have to move on to the questions which are not marked somewhere. Suppose this question is right, this is right, so these questions are pending. So when you are writing the answer, you have to make sure that you answer all the questions whatever is solvable first. And for this is not being possible if you are not practicing it from now. You have to practice it from now to achieve that in the exam hall. That is very, very important. Okay, 25 to 55 minute standard numerical. So this time should be fixed for standard numerical questions. So you can have another 30 standard minutes for your numerical questions. Obviously there will be 25 numerical questions. You will get a 30 minutes to solve them. Out of that, 12 will be difficult, another 15 will be easier. So those 15 questions you should be able to solve within 1 minute mark. Remaining 12 questions you will have another 20-25 minutes, 20 minutes that you can solve quickly, solve with time. Okay, now 55 to 7 minute So 70 minutes. So this is the end phase of the exam. So flagged items. So whatever questions you maybe have skipped because you think that I require a lot of time to solve this, or I am not able to solve those questions. So flagged items, this time you have to address at the last 15 minutes. Okay, fill all. Obviously, you also have to fill the OMR sheet at this point of time. Okay, so return the flagged questions. Guess every remaining blank, 0 negative marking. So that means whatever blank questions are there, you can guess it and answer it that this point of time. Also, you fill OMR sheet at this point of time. Okay, last 15 minutes you should divide it like that. Okay, so that's how you should do it. OMR sheet obviously require 5 to 7 minutes to fill it up. If you are fast enough, if you are practicing with the OMR sheet, even you can reduce the filling up the OMR sheet to 2 minutes. So instead of filling it in for 10 minutes, if you are practicing fast enough, you can finish the OMR sheet filling in 2 minutes. Remaining 7-8 minutes you can use up on solving questions. So that is also a practice, practicing in the real OMR sheet, which is very, very important, right? Now this should be your target deadlines. So now till December 2026, finish PU syllabus with concept maps, formula blank, weekly chapter wise MCQ drills, split 50-50 between concept and numericals. Obviously, even though the split is not 50-50, but here when you are practicing, it should be 50-50 split. January to February 2027, here you have to attempt mock series, mock tests, and at this point of time your board exams also will be approaching. Your pre-board exams will be there. So at this point of time you will not get enough time to prepare. So here you have to go for the mock test preparation. Okay, March till April, that is the after your board exams are over, that point of time you have to write mock test, you have to revise, you have to practice 10 years paper once more. So that's how you again progress. Okay, here also you cannot skip PYQs over here as well. PYQs here, PYQ here as well. Okay, so this is how you should crack KCET 2027, right? And if you still have doubts, if you still need more guidance on preparation of KCET 2027, then we have started our Pariksha Vida batch. The batch description is given in the description section of this video. So do check that out, and here you will get 110 hours per subject in this batch. Also, you will get 20 plus part and full length tests, that is per subject as well. Teacher notes, assignments, unlimited DPP generator, everything will be given, and the lectures will be delivered via web platform by Vedantu. So that is one of the leading online platform for teaching, right? And everything will be available for 3499 only. So what are you waiting for? Click on the description section below and join the batch today. Also, if you feel that I am being helpful to you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click on the like button, and I'll be back with more strategies in future. Till then, bye.